The new Volkswagen Amarok is just months from going on sale in Australia, but we've travelled across the Indian Ocean to South Africa, where it's being built, for this preview drive. Does it stack up against the very best of the dual cab utes, including the closely related Ford Ranger? Let's find out. The original Amarok was a standalone model developed by Volkswagen, and Australia became its #1 sales market. This new one is a co-development with the latest Ford Ranger, and VW reckons it's going to sell even better. 5 dual cab 4x4 models are coming to Australia, and 4 different engine choices, including a turbo petrol 4-cylinder. Volkswagen isn't talking prices yet, but it's going to be among the most expensive utes on the market. It's also going to be one of the best equipped. It especially addresses safety equipment shortfalls that have become a glaring weakness for the 12-year-old original. The good news for Amarok fans is there's still a 3-litre turbo V6 in the top 3 models in the range, but this time it's the Ford Lion V6 and not Volkswagen's own unit, so it's down on power but up on torque. The 8-speed auto is also ditched in favour of a 10-speed, and for the first time, Amarok now comes with low-range gearing for serious off-road work. Volkswagen has made a concerted effort to differentiate the exterior of the Amarok from the Ranger. All the sheet metal from the shoulder line down and the cargo box is different. This is the Panamericana, which is a new model in the range, sitting only below the on-road oriented Aventura flagship. There's no doubt the interior of the Amarok is fundamentally familiar when you compare it to the Ranger, but there are some important differences to note. The 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster in the upper-level Amarok models is classier and clearer than the effort in the Ranger. The front seats are softer and more heavily bolstered, and the overall quality level looks and feels high. The big 12-inch infotainment screen dominating the centre stack is straight out of the Ranger, although the graphics are specific to Amarok. VW also has different tabs down below that means more air conditioning controls are performed through the screen. I'm not sure that's an improvement. Sadly, VW didn't swap out the E-shifter from the Ranger. It remains a clumsy way to select gears, especially when using manual mode. The longer wheelbase of the new Amarok means there's more rear seat space released, and they've angled the backrest more, so it's just that bit more comfortable. Definitely an improvement. The cargo bed of the new Amarok is almost 70mm longer than the old model, and it's also wider between the wheel arches, and the Panamericana will be the only model to come to Australia standard with a spray-in tub liner. It's no surprise there's a fundamental feeling of familiarity when you first get in and start driving the Amarok, the seating position and so on. There's more than a bit of Ranger about it. The V6 engine impresses for its smoothness and refinement, but not for its outright urge. It's good, not great. VW is listing curb weights up to 2,500 kilograms for the new Amarok, and any engine will be slowed by that. Drivers of the first-gen V6 Amarok jumping into the new model might wonder, where has the grunt gone? It's quickly obvious the new Amarok has a heavier steering feel than the Ranger. When you turn into a corner at speed, you have to put in more effort. That's all designed to make this car feel more like the characterful, enjoyable drive the old Amarok was. Trouble is, because it's bigger and heavier, it just also feels a bit more ponderous. The Panamericana will come to Australia with 18-inch all-terrain tyres, but for some reason the test vehicles in South Africa rolled on lower profile 20-inch, more road-oriented rubber. They transmitted too much patter and minor road imperfections. Happily, a brief drive of another Amarok on 18s gave us confidence the ride will be better on them. We also had a short drive in a 4-cylinder Amarok style off-road. and that showed it has the basic traction and ground clearance to deal with those conditions. Of course, what we're lacking in all this is any concrete indication of pricing. The Amarok was already one of the more expensive utes on sale in Australia, and the new one will be more costly again. Of course, it will also be much better equipped. Only when we know the financials, when we drive it on local roads and we compare it against its logical rivals, can we make a truly concrete call on the Amarok. But based on this South African preview drive, we can already say it's amongst the best of the dual cab utes. We just won't know for a few months whether it's the best of them all.